Today is a cooking day for me. I have so many recipes that I want to try, and so I thought today I'm going to do some of them. One of them is Yorkshire pudding. I got the recipe in this old-time book, but it is very vague. This is a 1930s cookbook. It says, beat eggs until very light, add milk gradually, beating all the time. Add the flour next and beat hard. Bake in moderate oven for 20 minutes. If oven is too hot, the pudding will not rise. Serve with roast beef. That isn't very good directions from what I saw. This is something else I'm going to make next, so don't look at that. It says in this recipe, start by heating oven to a high temperature, like 450. Okay, you're supposed to put a teaspoon of oil in each one of your muffin tins. This hot fat is crucial for creating the crisp exterior and the initial lift of the pudding. Okay, avoid opening the door, be patient. Okay, but where's the recipe? Here's the best pudding, Yorkshire pudding recipe. Now I know you guys from England and stuff, if you're watching, you're thinking, how stupid can you be? We make this for years. We never did. Here's what they look like. I wonder why in the heck do they call it pudding? Does that look like pudding to you? It's not the kind of pudding my mother would make. Why do they call it pudding? All right, the recipe. I hate these where you have to go through like tons and tons to get they're like popovers. You can read all about them and study it. It's a fickle food, and that following the wrong recipe or the wrong technique will lead to disastrous results. Oh great, mine are not going to succeed. After dozens of tests and hundreds of puddings, I have some good news for you. It is nearly impossible to mess up a Yorkshire pudding, despite the fact that I managed to, back in my fraternity days, mess up. Okay, you can bake it any time of pan you want. It's kind of like Swedish pancakes. You can even, I'm not even going to say that, pour it in a cold thing, it says. We're not. That's not the right way to do it. All right. I want to see if their recipe, cold batter or warm batter makes a difference, but wasn't drastic. Depends on what you want. Warmer batter will create taller, crispier puddings with a more hollow core, but a colder batter will create denser pudding and a more distinct cup. So I guess they say, if you are the type who likes to make a separate onion gravy to pour inside the puddings. Oh, onion gravy. All right. Oh, I didn't research it enough. Here's on and on and on about it. 20-minute cooking time. That's what they said. I guess that's why you use them. I'm making chicken a la king for dinner tonight. I'm going to use these. The tin metal is so light it barely takes any energy to heat up. Oh, I want to use the silicone. They didn't have the silicone in 1930. All right. Oh, this says rest the batter for at least 30 minutes. But this one says his recipe has no rest at all. But this one says advises letting your batter rest for at least an hour. When authorities disagree, it's time to appeal to the science. I made a half dozen batches of pudding batter. The first a full 6 hours before the last, then baked them all side by side in the oven. Amazingly, There was a direct correlation between how long the batter had rested and how tall the puddings rose. You could tell exactly how old a batter was simply by holding a ruler up next to the... Oh, so if you want them taller, you let the batter rest. We're going to let it rest. Not overnight, though. It says resting your batter is the single most important step you can take to improving Yorkshire pudding and popovers. See, the recipe, their little recipe didn't say it. Their recipe they wrote in that book is like everybody knows. A pudding baked after an overnight rest has a stretchy texture with large bubbles inside. Do we want that? And that's perfect for holding gravy and drippings. That's why they serve it with roast beef. You know, the drippings and everything. The more yolks you add to your pudding, the more rich, tender, and custardy they become. The more whites you add, the taller and crisper they puff. Thankfully, I found the whole eggs gave the most desired results. Okay, I'm just using the whole egg. I'm not separating it and, you know, because it's not that important. Okay, I just want the recipe that they give. And here you have to go through all their reading directions. I want the ingredients. All right. They give it in grams and in ounces. You know, when we had that foreign exchange student, he was from Czechoslovakia. No, it was Republic of Czech. They changed it because Czechoslovakia was so hard to say. All right. He didn't ever cook with cups and, you know, like we cook here. And he wanted to make some of my recipe. I don't remember what it was, but he didn't have a measurer over there. So I let him take one of these. I had a plastic one, and he took it so he could make my recipes at his home. Now they say to use lard, shortening, or vegetable oil. I was going to use olive oil, but maybe I'll just use canola oil. 4 eggs, that's the right thing. 1 cup plus 2 teaspoons of flour. They just say a cup of flour. 6 ounces of milk. And mine says a pint, which is 2 cups. That's a big difference. 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of water. And then put your beef drippings or your lard or vegetable oil in these things. All right. Combine eggs, flour, milk, water, and salt in a medium bowl and whisk until smooth batter is formed. Let batter rest at room temperature for at least 30 minutes. The best thing is to transfer to an airtight container and refrigerate overnight or up to 3 days. Oh my, if you know company's coming on Sunday, go ahead and bake your batter. Adjust the oven in the center of the preheated oven. And then you put the things in here. I wonder how many it will make. And you fill them, preheat oven. I did that. Oh, if you have real popover tins, make 6. 4 eggs. We have a hole here that a big garbage can is under the counter. It was the best directions we ever made. I mean, directions. I'm reading the directions, so I said directions. The best invention we did in the kitchen. I love it. And the other day I cleaned it all out with that new steam cleaner I had. Oh, it worked wonderful, and it's so clean in there. Bugs couldn't live there forever. All right, now we're gonna beat this. The recipe that I said to beat the eggs until very light. Then you add the milk. I'm gonna go over there and beat it. You don't wanna have to watch, listen, or hear me beat. Okay, I beat them till they're light. I don't really know what light means. Now it says to add the flour and the milk. Add milk gradually, beating the whole time. I just don't know how much milk, because this recipe says 2 cups, and this recipe says, how much? It says 6 ounces. That's only 3/4 of a cup. That is a big difference. Well, I'm going to go by the modern one, because the old time one, maybe their milk had cream in it from the cow and everything. So I'm going to use the modern one. I don't have a measuring cup. All right. So it just says add. Combine eggs, flour, milk, water, and salt in a medium bowl and whisk until a smooth batter forms. So here's 3/4 cup milk. One cup of flour plus 2 tablespoons. Okay. And how much salt does it say? A 1/2 teaspoon salt. Has to be kosher salt. I got my kosher salt. 1/2 teaspoon. It's just regular salt. It's not kosher. I don't know what that is even. All right, and then you're gonna beat this until a smooth batter forms. Then we're gonna let it rest. Because I'm gonna let mine rest. But I wonder why it says some water in it. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go. All right, I already beat it now. It's all smooth and nice. So I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Not doing it overnight. Life's too short. What if I died in the night? I wouldn't get to bake it. My Yorkshire pudding's been in the fridge for like 2 hours. Now, they say to put a teaspoon, it's very important, a teaspoon of oil in each little measuring cup. So, I'm doing that now. I'm just using vegetable canola oil. It's not vegetable oil, I guess. I wonder how many it'll make. But you got to put this in the oven and get it really bubbly hot first, because it's sizzling when you put your batter in it. So I got to do that. I need a little more in those. Want it to be able to, you know, like little pan fry the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to put it in the oven. My oven's preheated. My oil's hot. So, here we go. Put these in there. Yorkshire pudding. I thought pudding is like this batter. Maybe that's why they call it that. The whole kitchen is smoky because the oven at 450 is hot. Luckily, it's an overcast day. Don't make these in the summertime on a hot day. That's why you do it with the roast beef in the oven in the winter. The oil kind of comes to the top and covers it all. You know how many years I wanted to make these? For years I wanted to. It's my dream come true, my bucket list. Stupid bucket list, huh? Tupperware bowl. Does everybody remember the Tupperware bowl from our wedding presents? I didn't get this for a wedding present though. I had to buy it myself later on. And the big giant white one that matches it with the blue lid. They're good. Gotta say that for it. I want to use all of it. Don't waste any. Might be a whole egg you're wasting. Okay. Alright. I'm going to put this stuff off here so it won't burn on here. Okay, now it's going in the oven for 20 minutes. I use this instead of the stove one because it's not loud enough. Yorkshire pudding. It is done. They're not very tall. This one is. This one got real tall. Oh, look at them. I did it.